Tonight, 3 weeks COVID-free and now the chance to travel. The vaccine pass that could end border closures. Chilling images, a toddler snatched in the middle of the night, then abandoned on a street. Fears grow for an Australian detained in a military coup. Friends plead for his release. Solved after 40 long years, a remarkable DNA discovery cracks the cold case of a New South Wales mariner. Clocked off the charts. A Sydney motorbike rider nearing 3 times the speed limit. Water wasters on notice, the blitz hitting homes across the suburbs. And the Sixers bring it home and go back-to-back in the Big Bash.
Live from Sydney, 7 News with Mark Ferguson.
Good evening. Sydney has hit an impressive new milestone, 3 weeks with no COVID cases, and today there was a major step forward. Australia's COVID pass, a certificate showing you've had a vaccination, will be available on your phone and could help open up travel once again.
Among the few Australians able to head overseas, our cricketers were today bound for New Zealand and a tour within a COVID bubble, as the government reveals the key to all Aussies eventually getting the same green light.
Any requirement for borders to open up will require vaccination, and it will require the widespread use of assured certificates.
Proof you've had the COVID jab once they're available. You'd be able to show the certificate on your phone via the Medicare app, MyGov website, or have a paper copy from Services Australia or the vaccine provider. The Minister insists proving you're COVID safe will also be cyber safe.
And all Australians will be able to access it absolutely and utterly securely.
Well, we need to make sure here that the government gets it right. We know that they didn't get the tracing app right.
The certificates could help allow workplaces to fully reopen, restaurants, attractions return to full capacity, enable people to visit nursing homes and even cross state borders should there be future lockdowns. As New South Wales reaches 21 days, 3 weeks without a single community case of COVID. In the sunshine at Bondi today, plenty of swimming but not much swabbing at the nearby COVID test site. Not what authorities want to see. The number of daily tests fell yesterday, and this week there have been 2,000 fewer tests than the week before. But the scrutiny of overseas travellers has been ramped up, health officials adding a swab on day 16, 2 days after they leave hotel quarantine.
A high rate of testing remains one of our strongest defences against COVID-19.
Police also stepping up enforcement. Around Fairfield, 9 businesses have been hit with fines of up to $5,000 for breaching COVID rules. As experts say, COVID vaccines will need to be regularly assessed to deal with the changing virus.
The mutations are probably happening more quickly because we've never had as many people in the world infected as we do right now. As
new research predicts, unless there's a boost in vaccine distribution, it could be 7 years before the pandemic is over worldwide. Paul Kadak, 7 News.
The pictures are simply chilling. A toddler snatched from his home in the middle of the night in a terrifying kidnapping. The 1-year-old was missing for more than 6 hours before being found abandoned by the side of a road.
In the early hours of Sunday morning, a man paces up and down a Darra street. He puts on gloves, then approaches a neighbouring home before allegedly kidnapping a 20-month-old baby boy from his bed.
I noticed that the bedroom door was open and I made the first initial discovery he wasn't in his cot.
The family waking to a nightmare.
Still shaking at the fact that knowing that a total stranger can be in our house and with all our kids asleep.
Backyard security cameras captured the man wearing a mask and cap, walking out of the house holding the boy.
It's a big shock to anyone having to be in this situation.
But it's just heartbreaking being a mum myself.
Police immediately responded, issuing an Amber Alert. For more than 6 hours, the family nervously waited. Screams of joy rang out from the family's home just after 11 o'clock this morning as they were told their baby boy had been found alive and well.
I would say like fireworks going off. Everyone was just really happy. All the family was here waiting.
The toddler and his family reunited at Anala Police Station, where they spent 3 hours helping officers with their investigation. Late this afternoon, they arrived home. Happy he's safe, but scarred.
We won't be here. No, it's just too traumatising. No, we won't be here much longer.
The man allegedly responsible is being questioned by police. Elliot Chipper, 7 News.
Friends of an Australian man detained in Myanmar are desperately waiting on news of a possible release tonight as the federal government steps in. Sean Turnell, an advisor to detained leader Aung San Suu Kyi, was arrested in the days following a military coup. Now telecommunications have been cut off and protest numbers are growing.
On the streets of Yangon, protesters push back against military control. But as tensions escalate, Australian professor Sean Turnell has found himself in the crossfire. The economic advisor to ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi arrested as he tried to flee Myanmar, managing to speak out live on radio while detained.
Well, so I'm just being detained at the moment and perhaps charged with something. I don't know what that might be.
The grim reality of his situation sinking in.
Everyone's being very polite and all that, but obviously I'm not free to move or anything like that.
Before the line goes dead.
Some people have just arrived, actually, so I better hang up.
Professor Turnell is the first foreigner to be arrested since the military took control on Monday. Friends and family hold serious concerns about his safety.
I'm hoping that there won't be anything too aggressive, but detention is bad news anyway.
In a statement, Foreign Minister Marise Payne says Australia has registered its deep concerns about the events unfolding in Myanmar, but that the Australian ambassador has been called in to try and secure Mr Turnell's release.
I'm hoping that they will just politely detain him for a few days and then hopefully they'll deport him.
In the days since the coup, the military has shut down the internet and access to social media, cutting off Myanmar from the rest of the world, with Professor Turnell now a long way from home. Taylor Aiken, 7 News.
Notorious gang rapist Mohammed Skaff is set to apply for parole later this week. Skaff will appear before the parole board on Friday to argue why he should be released back into the community. He and his brother Bilal Skaff were part of a gang that terrorised and raped more than a dozen women in 2000. Mohammed Skaff was sentenced to 22 years in jail and has been consistently denied parole. A 4-decade-old cold case in the state's north is now closed following a remarkable DNA breakthrough. Investigators never gave up, finding a sample that matched remains washed up on a beach and finally giving a family answers about their missing brother.
Pip and Bill Moran, newlyweds who died in rough waters off Evans Head when their boat sank in 1979. A search found Pip's body alongside this dinghy on Kingscliff Beach. Bill was never found. Pip's sister Maria and her husband Ray were there.
We went up in the plane looking for them and, then the day after they found Pip.
Pip was buried alone, her husband listed lost at sea. Until now, human remains have been matched to Bill.
That he was found on the same beach, so obviously they were together till nearly right at the end, which, I don't know, it's kind of comforting.
In 2011, a jawbone was discovered on Kingscliff Beach, 32 years to the day that Bill vanished.
With the shifting sands and currents, it has been buried for a long time, perhaps 30 years in that one spot.
For another 9, it remained John Doe. It was tested against the National DNA Database with no luck. It wasn't until 2020 a familial match from the criminal database, an inmate at Goulburn Jail.
It's a link on that database to Bill's nephew that actually was the reason we're here today.
Other families now have the same chance for closure. A new database is being set up to try and match families with other unidentified human remains. But for it to be a success, the police need relatives to come forward and volunteer their DNA.
The first trial collection centre opens tomorrow in Coffs Harbour, the beginning of trying to solve another 120 mystery cases. Miley Hogan, 7 News.
A motorbike rider has put himself on the radar of police after his own video showed him clocking up extraordinary speeds on Sid Einfeld Drive. The digital speedo hit at least 192 kilometres an hour. Police say local officers are now looking at the video. After weeks of controversy and chaos, Australian Open organisers say not even a COVID case will stop the tournament now. Play begins tomorrow and the rest of the sporting world will be watching closely.
The world's biggest names in their final practices. And in a lead-up tournament, Australia's #1 in dangerously good form.
And that'll do it. It's a title in Melbourne for Ashley Barty.
With a special message for the Melbourne crowd.
You've had an exceptionally tough 6 or 7 months. I have a lot of friends and family down here, so I feel for you, but I'm so happy and grateful that you guys can be here with us at the moment, making it extra special for us, so thank you.
After months of uncertainty, player complaints and COVID scares, tennis is back on the famous blue courts, and so are the fans.
And we're very grateful to have the chance to play and to have crowd. How amazing is that after almost a year empty? For us, it's incredible.
Although the message hadn't reached everyone.
Is it crowd still there? No, because I don't know. Things are changing day to day. I don't know if...
Even the game's most divisive player managed some energy.
Just see how everything is going. I feel good. I'm excited to be back.
But the quarantine arrangements sparked bitter divisions between players. Kyrgios labelled Djokovic a tool for raising concerns. Today, the #1 hit back.
Off the court, I don't have much respect for him, to be honest.
COVID has brought big changes to this year's tournament. The precinct's been split into 3 zones to minimise fan movement. Sponsors have set up COVID-safe pods and every court has a QR code to help contact tracers. But even if there's a case, the show will go on.
We undertake obviously deep cleaning every night. It's probably unlikely that we'll know of a positive case until a day or 2 days or multiple days after, so it's unlikely to impact anything on site.
Crowd numbers for the Open have been capped at 30,000 a day, roughly half the normal capacity. But that still allows nearly 400,000 people to come here over the fortnight, making it one of the biggest events in the world since the pandemic began.
To have the Grand Slam, to kick off the tennis year, hugely exciting for us.
Laurel Irving, 7 News.
A young woman has been arrested following a tense siege in Sydney's southwest overnight. Tactical police were called to Gregory Hills after neighbours reported screams coming from inside a home. Detectives say the 24-year-old attacked 2 other women, biting one on the face and stabbing the other. She's been refused bail to face assault charges in court tomorrow. 4 people have been killed in an avalanche as a bitter freeze across large parts of the United States intensifies. Temperatures are predicted to sink even lower in coming days, so cold that frostbite could kick in within 10 minutes.
Rescuers scramble to Utah's deadliest avalanche for 3 decades, believed triggered by skiers.
4 of those skiers were able to dig their way out.
4 more died. Elsewhere, luck. This man stranded for a week in California's Sierra Nevada before searchers tracked a signal from his phone. Others saved after they built a snow cave to shelter overnight. And in an Iowa whiteout, police arrived to the ruins.
We can't get to anybody right now. It's too dangerous for us to check on people.
Of a 40-vehicle pile-up. Sliding semi-trailers triggered it all. No one died. In Chicago...
It's freezing. Yeah, it's freezing. Like, it's way too cold.
They're expecting minus 21 Celsius tonight. As others make light of the country's deep freeze, frozen pants have trended on social media before. They're back. Simply soak and hang outside until they can stand on their own 2 cuffs. In the United States, Tim Lester, 7 News.
Water wasters are on notice tonight. A new blitz is beginning, targeting Sydney's worst offenders. There's a hit list across several suburbs, with residents warned to expect a knock on the door.
Making a house call to offer some helpful advice.
Good morning, my name's Ian from Sydney Water. How you doing?
Community officers out pounding the pavement and meeting locals as part of a new WaterWise pilot program.
We're always looking to cut costs, if you like, and save water. So
Yeah, we'd certainly be interested.
So it's all about education, you know, just about water savings and where they potentially might have a problem on their property.
The office says will target households and businesses that have seen a large spike in their water bill in recent weeks, offering to help find the problem and plug it before it gets worse.
May offer assistance or a technician to come out and detect any leaks that may be on property.
The local government areas in their sites, Woollahra, Hunters Hill, Mossman, Ku-ring-gai and Fairfield, which are using the most water annually across the state, while the biggest savers are Kiama, Sydney, Leichhardt, the Blue Mountains and Wollongong.
The dams are full at the moment, but we saw with 3 years of record low inflows how quickly those dam levels can fall.
The other top water-saving suburbs include Shell Harbour, North Sydney, Marrickville, Ryde and here in Botany, where households are using 100 kilolitres less water each year, saving hundreds on their bills.
No one likes a dripping tap, no one likes a leaking cistern. Let's fix those things, make every drop count.
Amber Laidler, 7 News.
The rain held off for the big crowd and the Sydney Sixers collected another trophy. Mel McLaughlin's here after a great night at the SCG. Mel, what a victory.
Yeah, it was an incredible night, Fergo. What a cracker, and fitting for the Sixers to do so in front of their fans at last. More than 25,000 were there to see James Vince make 95, take one of the catches of the summer, and the Sixers win by 27 runs to join the Scorchers as three-time champions. The men in magenta could finally go home to their own beds, but that could wait for one more night.
Yeah, that's the last thing I'm looking forward to at the moment. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, whenever that is.
Yeah, their celebrations went all the way through to sunrise under the Harbour Bridge as the Sixers started planning their three-peat next summer. See, I asked him, aren't you looking for all of you guys? You've been nomads for a few months. And he said, no, it's all about celebrating.
They will sleep tonight, I reckon.
I think very well.
Good on you, Mel. See you soon. All right, the weather now with Angie. And Angie, what a way to see out the weekend.
Yeah, Mark, quite a turnaround after yesterday's gloomy conditions. Right now, skies are still clear over the city. We're sitting on about 26 degrees with 67% humidity. Before those clouds cleared, we recorded some decent rainfall in the 24 hours until 9 a.m. today. About 35 millimetres in the gauge at Orange, 25 at Dubbo. By morning, that wet weather had moved on and temperatures were quite pleasant under a southeasterly wind regime. Top of 30 degrees recorded at Canamble, 29 for Coffs Harbour, and Wagga Wagga reached a cooler top of 27. Tomorrow we will see a little bit more cloud cover develop over our state. Onshore winds, though, are still the dominant feature, so between the two it's going to be a cooler day compared to today's sunny conditions. We are about to enter an extended period of fine conditions as well. All the details coming up soon, Mark.
Sounds good, Angie. Thank you. Tens of thousands of dollars wheeled right out of a shop. The thieves who rammed their way in and rode their way out. That's next. Factory workers launch a new lawsuit over exposure to toxic dust, the faces of a rising health crisis. Buildings torched, including a police station, the shooting that sparked an explosive battle. Later transforming Sydney, the call to add colour to suburban streets. And in sport, world number one Ash Barty wins her first title of the year and a very Aussie trophy.
The biggest week of television in the world, in the universe, is here. I love it. Not one shocking, but two new holes.
Holy moly!
Not one, but two holes in one.
Let's do it! Holy one!
Not one, but two obstacles will be conquered. Don't be the only Australian not watching.
Holy moly!
Tonight at 7 on 7.
In the evenings, Tony puts himself first. So in the mornings, he can put his son first. Put yourself first. Fitness first.
The silence is over. Stan's chilling new series, Clarice, based on the silence of the lambs.
It's time to come out of hiding, Starling. You're the only one who can help.
This is getting worse.
It always gets worse.
The brand new series, Clarice, premieres Friday only on Stan.
Happy birthday!
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Help take care of your family with Medibank Life Insurance. Apply for cover up to $2.5 million, depending on age and income.
Make every little moment count. Fine chocolate, luscious caramel, new caramel squares from the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
Telstra's smart modem targets your device with a concentrated signal, so you get fast Wi-Fi. Experience fast Wi-Fi with the Telstra smart modem.
Say yeah to more power with the Amarok V6 and get your first 3 repayments on us.
Volkswagen.
I won miniature Tim Tams at the supermarket.
Oh, I won real ones.
Who wants miniature prizes when you could win real ones? IGA's Shop Scratch Win is back. 1 in 5 chance to win instantly with every $30 spent. Over $1 million prizes to be won. While you're there, get kettle chips 150 to 175 gram varieties, $2.32, half price. And Primo meats 80 to 100 gram varieties, $2.50 each. Shop Scratch Win now at IGA.
Here at Amart Furniture, it's the final days of our warehouse clearance, where you can save up to 50% off a huge range of stylish pieces. So, you'd better get a wiggle on. Amart Furniture, on sale this week only.
Welcome back. A dramatic ram raid has left a business owner with devastating losses. A car smashed through the window of his bike shop before thieves took off with at least 5 custom bikes. The owner says he's at least $50,000 out of pocket. Bikes have been in high demand ever since Victoria entered its first coronavirus lockdown. Former factory workers are planning new legal action after years of exposure to toxic dust. Many suffering deadly lung conditions say they were never warned of the danger and are asking a global giant to take responsibility.
Kevin Weeks and Diane Adams often worked in a cloud of dust, oblivious to its deadly danger.
You see it very early in the morning when the sunlight's shining through the shed and it looks very pretty.
We used to swim in it, you're just covered in it. You just get the air hose and blow yourself off.
They're among 7 former employees launching legal action against minerals company Uniman, now called Sibelco, claiming they weren't properly warned or protected.
Their lives have been destroyed, debilitating and deadly diseases, and they're in this position through no fault of their own.
Kevin has silicosis, where inhaled silica dust causes inflammation and scarring inside the lungs.
Whatever it wants to do, it'll do to you.
He claims the news was broken to him in a phone call from a company doctor. He was later declared medically unfit and made redundant.
It's been very, very stressful. Financially, it's been devastating.
And he doesn't know how fast the illness will take hold.
Can't mow the lawns anymore, it's physically too hard.
Diane has different lung conditions.
I'm panting like a steam train by the time I get to the top of the hill to check my mail every day.
She too faces an uncertain future.
My parents are going to be they're in their 80s and I can't see myself being that old.
They hope the court case will force action.
It's time for the company to stand tall and look after their workers.
Joshua Bridge, 7 News.
Inmates took over a high-rise prison, smashing windows, hurling furniture to the ground and setting fires. Prisoners overpowered a guard and others picked the locks on their cells, starting a lengthy riot. More than 100 inmates caused significant damage. It's now under control. Officials say they'll be upgrading the locks. Fiery protests have engulfed the Chilean capital. As many as 10 government buildings, including a police station, were set alight in a furious response after police shot dead a popular street performer. Police say the juggler, who'd been performing with machetes, resisted arrest and appeared to rush at officers. The officer involved is being held in custody during the investigation. Witnesses say the performer's knives were only props. A critically endangered Sumatran tiger has been shot dead after 2 of the animals escaped from a zoo in Borneo, killing a zookeeper. The females broke free after a landslide opened a tunnel from their enclosure. The body of a 47-year-old keeper was found nearby. The second tiger still hasn't been found. It's believed there are fewer than 400 Sumatran tigers left in the world. Planes might be mostly grounded right now, but there's a rush to train new pilots. Next, the Sydney deal for thousands of new jobs. Lost No More, the new trial to keep your GPS working in Sydney tunnels. Lockdown, fire, now floods. Incredible pictures as Western Australia endures more heartbreak. And the state's longest-serving female mayor, a town remembers its passionate leader.
7 News brought to you by Panadol.
I'm in Echuca to meet Candice Williams. Candice has dedicated herself to mentoring young women in her community. Panadol believes care starts with people like Candice. Juggling work and study, Candice drives from Melbourne to Echuca every weekend to deliver her very own mentoring program. Candice, you've given up so many of your weekends. Panadol wanted to give you a weekend away. Panadol, caring for Australians for over 60 years.
Ambulance service, what's the problem?
Second by second, as lives are saved, you're right there.
2 stab wounds to his lower back.
Okay. Raw, uncensored, complete access to the cameras on our emergency heroes. Wednesday, they're coming. Every second counts as real heroes.
Very intense at times.
Save real lives in our groundbreaking new show, Ambulance Code Red. Wednesday, 7:30 on 7.
We're announcing something big. The big deal is now on at Mazda, and we're putting value on 2020 plate vehicles front and centre, like great run-out prices on last remaining CX-3 stock. Search Mazda offers today.
AGL Internet is here. Combine your home internet and energy to save $15 a month off your NBN plan. That's unlimited data, all from $60 per month. Combine and save today.
Is So Good almond milk the better milk for you? It's dairy-free and full of calcium. So Good almond milk is packed with vitamins, and unsweetened varieties have no added sugar. Feel good inside and out and make today so good.
Things are a little different these days. There's a little more time to dream a little, learn a little, love a little. Why not bring a little luxury into your life? Because it's the little things that make a big difference.
Introducing new MyWW+.
It takes what's in your fridge and gives you healthy recipes to make for your family. It's just been so easy to use.
The MyWW+ app takes the guesswork out of deciding what foods I should be eating.
You can really see the progress that you've made, and it just motivates you to go further.
It makes working out the best part of my day.
More holistic, more personalised, more weight loss. New MyWW+ from Weight Watchers Reimagined. Join now and get 40% off.
Oh, hi, sweetie. Hi, Mum.
Mars. Enough chocolate to deal with anything.
Oh, it's very good.
A distracting new deal every week in February. This week, get a $6 small Big Mac meal and cheeseburger. Order today only on the My Macca's app.
Welcome back. Despite the local aviation industry crashing in the pandemic, there's now a push to get student pilots back in the air. It's expected the demand for Australian-trained pilots will take off when world borders reopen.
Rising above the pandemic's economic headwinds, student pilots prepare to lift off.
Being in command of an aircraft is just amazing.
The state government trying to give wings to a grounded aviation industry, announcing a partnership between TAFE and Bass Air Aviation College in a pilot training push.
No one can deny that the aviation industry is going through a tough time with the COVID-19 pandemic. But we know worldwide demand for pilots will increase.
Over the next 2 decades, we will need an extra 11,000 domestic pilots. Across the Asia Pacific, 260,000 more will be required. Pilots trained in Australia, especially sought after.
Aviation
pre-COVID was growing faster than the rest of the economy.
Bass Air Aviation College, the same flight school that made an emergency landing in dirt at Badgerys Creek, arriving 5 years before the runway, the unfinished airport's first plane.
Partially proud of that one, but the pilots on the day did a fantastic job. They followed the emergency procedures.
Students here at Bankstown have taken up careers at major airlines right across the globe. Australian flight schools seen as the international gold standard.
With high hopes.
Jobs are a little bit in short supply at the moment, but I think that once this all calms down, aviation is going to boom again.
Soaring to a new altitude. Serena Andaloro, 7 News.
Losing your GPS in Sydney tunnels could be a thing of the past as the state government trials new technology. Special GPS repeaters will be trialled and if successful, they'll be rolled out under the city.
It's millions of dollars, but we believe this is well worth investing in. It's the technology of the future.
Emergency services are expected to benefit the most, the tech helping speed up accident response times. The state's longest-serving female mayor has died at the age of 90. Lillian Brady led the outback town of Cobar for close to 23 years and was a councillor for 40 years before that. She's received a Lifetime Achievement Award and Order of Australia and helped organise the first grey Mardi Gras in town to celebrate seniors. Miss Brady, whose mantra was often "suck it up, princess, and get on with it," was planning to retire in September. Her family says she passed away in hospital after a period of ill health. Roads have been swept away, others underwater in the latest emergency to hit Western Australia. In a single week, families have suffered through lockdown, bushfires and now a major deluge.
Extreme flooding swamps Western Australia after a week of fires.
This has been an extraordinary week. Our emergency services workers have been pushed to their limits. I cannot thank them enough.
The bushfires northeast of Perth are contained after destroying 86 homes, but 6 new fires were sparked overnight, threatening lives and property. They were deliberately lit.
That is a disgusting, deplorable, disgraceful act, and no doubt the arson squad will hunt them down and they'd go to jail.
A downpour helped firefighters bring the overnight blazes under control, but it's that persistent rain which has caused a new threat. More than 150 millimetres fell in 24 hours. Roads in Carnarvon, north of Perth, have been swept away. They're likely to remain closed for weeks. The rain has eased there, but the Gascoyne region remains underwater.
Those floods will continue for some time yet. The rivers will take some time to subside.
The wet weather is tracking south to Perth, where the COVID lockdown is over, but now the rain is keeping people inside. Melina Saris, 7 News.
Hundreds of swimmers have packed the sand for a good cause before rushing into the water at Cronulla for the annual Shark Island charity race. Organisers were blown away by the turnout despite the event's name and restrictions on outdoor gatherings.
We capped our numbers at 950 today, and we've exceeded those expectations. We're fully booked for our swims today.
Money raised will help train more local lifesavers. There's a plan to transform Sydney's hidden and often dull laneways into colourful works of art. More vibrant displays are about to start popping up across the CBD to help shake off the COVID gloom.
In the heart of an empty CBD, a spectacular sight. Called Eversun, this visual artwork is suspended above Wilmot Street, a reminder of resilience and beauty.
We're enticing people back to the city using creativity, music, art.
It's one of 4 laneway installations across the city, created at the height of the pandemic to help boost the mood and the economy. This, hidden just off George Street, features a spirit from the future telling your fortune.
This is my first public art project. I've never done anything to this scale before.
Artist Adam Norton set up these giant coloured badges.
When I was a teenager, I was always wearing my sort of favourite badge, and I always thought in a very simple little statement, it was a sort of perfect way of sort of explaining yourself.
While this micro-forest has been planted on Barlow Street, made up of 30 native species.
When you discover something like the Barlow Street Forest, you just want to hang out here.
Before the pandemic, more than 600,000 people would come into the CBD every single day. It's hoped that these new artworks will bring thousands more people to the city. The council is now inviting more artists to showcase their work publicly to brighten up our local landmarks. Samantha Brett, 7 News.
It's an exclusive club and 7 News has been invited inside. Next, the Super Bowl squad who've never missed a single game, and the pandemic is not about to stop them. Plus, legends in the mail, the cricket greats immortalised on stamps. A real shock on the sand as a local heads to the beach for lunch.
Soon in Sport Why, the Sixers say their latest Big Bash title is the sweetest of them all.
And it'll be a cooler day tomorrow. Coming up, a detailed look at what's ahead for the working week.
This is Holy Moly! Singles Day. There's electricity in the air. Our 8 single golfers will turn heads and fall head over heels. But will they choose love over the plaid jacket? Holy moly! Next up on 7.
Experience amazing in the first ever Lexus LC convertible.
Don't you tell me that I'm crazy. Don't you say that I'm losing my mind.
Surprise her this Valentine's Day with Pandora's buy 2 and get the 3rd free offer. Available for a limited time only. Conditions and exclusions apply.
Say yeah to more power with the Amarok V6 and get your first 3 repayments on us.
Volkswagen.
Get your Woolies worth with the Woolworths app. Shop straight from the catalogue and never miss a special. Download the app today.
That's why I pick Woolies.
Invest with La Trobe Financial, Australia's multi-award-winning wealth manager, returning a current variable rate of 4.35% per annum reviewed monthly on a 12-month investment. Make your money work harder for you. Call 13 80 10.
Come on, Dan. That's Up and Go, no added sugar. It's next level goodness. Well, now we're talking, Dan. Now we're talking. Up and Go, no added sugar.
As a Lexus Encore member, we'll loan you a car when we're servicing yours and invite you to exclusive events, giving you the luxury of time. Welcome to Lexus Encore, our owner benefits program.
Bowel cancer is Australia's 2nd biggest cancer killer, but you can help us change that. We're sending out millions of these bowel cancer screening kits. Because if detected early, this hidden killer can be successfully treated in more than 90% of cases. There's a lot we can do if you do the test.
Welcome back. They're already legends, but some of cricket's most famous faces will now appear in the mail. 6 stars have been honoured in the Australia Post Legends Awards, including Alan Border, Adam Gilchrist, Elise Perry, Dennis Lilly and Ricky Ponting.
I've seen my head on a few different things over the years, but no, I mean, certainly not on a stand. I mean, a lot of things happen. You know, I played the game for a long time and was lucky to have a fair bit of success, you know.
Australia Post has been celebrating living legends since 1997. The stamps will be available from next month. It's the hot air balloon in Canberra that has a cult-like following. Now the Sky Whale has a mate, Sky Whale Papa. The twin hot air balloons commissioned by the National Gallery didn't quite take flight as planned today, grounded by high winds. Still, hundreds of people turned out early this morning to see them for the first time. The Sky Whale duo will now embark on a national tour. Within hours, America will just about come to a stop for Super Bowl Sunday. While COVID restrictions this year means thousands missed out on tickets, there are growing fears the party outside could become the country's next super spreader event. But there's a small club willing to risk it to keep a tradition alive.
It's Super Sunday's most exclusive lunch club.
Smile!
And for an invite, you need to have attended every one of the past 54 Super Bowls.
I can remember the first 10 like it was yesterday.
A group of 3 mates now all in their 80s.
It's just an addiction. It's something I save all year for.
Youngest club member, 80-year-old Tommy Henschel,
a football fanatic ever since I've been a little boy,
has since 1967 poured everything into securing an increasingly rare and expensive ticket.
You guys sell me a ticket, even if it's just one. I don't care, you know? You can't pass me over. I'm too old to go scalp a ticket.
Boasting 5 members at its peak, over time, the Never Miss a Super Bowl club, as it's now known, has dwindled to 3.
What does this group mean to you? It shrunk, and I miss the 3 guys who are gone greatly.
At 84, Don Chrisman feared the pandemic would end his Super Bowl streak.
New Year's Day this year, the NFL sent me a text saying, "We're not going to be able to help you with tickets." Was that an emotional moment? Yeah, it took time. It was a process.
But the league came through for this social club that these days is more mild than wild.
But it's as much a reunion as it is a game.
Certainly this will be a Super Bowl like nothing this unique group of football lovers have ever seen before. A fraction of the crowd, all masked and socially distanced. And for the home city hopefuls, Tampa Bay, everything is riding on tomorrow's result.
Just 22,000 allowed in, a third of the stadium's capacity. 7,500 of them will be healthcare workers who'll watch for free. No social distancing here though. Video of this pre-match party has stoked fears Tampa's Super Bowl will be a super spreader.
This city is going to catch on fire regardless of the results.
Kansas City Chiefs arriving in Florida today, ready to take on a host city, hungry for victory, but looking to one man.
You got Tom Brady, the GOAT.
We love Tom Brady.
In Tampa, Florida, David Woywood, 7 News.
And you can see every moment of Super Bowl 55 right here on 7, straight after sunrise tomorrow. Now to a scary scene showing the unique dangers of going to the beach in North Queensland. A giant crocodile snapped up a small shark in front of terrified onlookers on a beach south of Cairns. The shark was reeled in by a woman fishing, but the croc snatched it away before she could release it. The croc then retreated back into the water and swam away. It's an Aussie first, a new weapon helping women on IVF. The fertility clinic now using yoga as part of its treatment. What hopeful mothers are finding. Details on that story soon on 7 News. But now Mel is back with sport, and Mel, the fans returned to the SCG in fine style last night.
Yeah, they certainly did, Fergo. They got their first taste of BBL action this season on the day of the decider, and they were the Sixers' 12th man. Details up next. Plus, the moment Ash Barty received her first ever Wombat on a chopping board trophy, and highlights of her 9th ATP title shortly. Also, the stunning scorpion kick plus solo effort in the A-League's latest Sydney derby.
You never know who you'll see on the home of the Great British Mysteries.
Hello, I'm the new Chief Constable. You're an American.
Rob Lowe is TV's wildest new sleuth.
Shoot me! Nobody shoots anybody here because it's England.
The brand new series, Wild Bill, tonight on 7/2.
Flavor you can smash, flavor you can thrash, flavor just for me, flavor you can see. Shapes,
new Shapes triple cheese toasty.
At Telstra, our 7-day price match on a range of phones. Using Telstra Plus points and trading in selected phones can help make technology more affordable.
It's the little things, Jimmy. It's the little things that rip you apart. It's the little things that get you caught.
The Little Things. Advanced screenings this weekend.
A snack pack with flavour that stacks of fun. Funny you should ask, I know just the one. Wolf Cracker Packer Primo Stackers. A real food snack of meat, cheese, crackers. you're just a regular snacker. Till you get the fun and taste of Primo Snackers. Mmm.
Raw protein fuels your performance. 15 grams of protein from meat, nuts and cheese. Find your raw in the cheese aisle. Raw protein. Find your raw!
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of easy dinners with pastas like Coles brand Durham wheat spirals, penne, macaroni and even our choice recommended Coles brand spaghetti. Down to just $1. Coles. Value the Australian way.
Experience amazing in the first ever Lexus LC convertible.
Dirt, impurities? Try Micellar Cleansing Water. Micelles work like a magnet, not only removing makeup, it cleanses dirt and impurities and soothes sensitive skin. For the cleanest skin every day. Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water by Garnier, naturally.
The new Aussie Angus burger has arrived at Macca's, made with delicious onion rings and bacon. Or grab a side of the new golden onion rings. Wherever summer takes you, we'll be here.
How do we know the good guys from the bad guys? If they're shooting at you, they're bad.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier, tonight on 7.
Welcome back. Moses Enriquez is watching with envy as the Australian T20 side flies out for New Zealand tonight. After months in their Big Bash bubble, the Sixers were reluctant to break up and spent all night celebrating the sweetest of their BBL titles.
A little weary this morning.
The guys that lasted were able to go and enjoy the sunrise down by the harbour.
The proof is on Dan Christian's Instagram. After months on the road, the Sixers could finally come home to complete their dominant season.
The Sydney Sixers are champions of BBL 10.
Joining the Scorchers as the only three-time and back-to-back winners.
There's not really too many arguments about where the trophy should have gone this season.
It could have been a total debacle.
All sorts. No!
Yes! Josh Philippi sacrificed on 9. James Vince had to fire.
6. Yep.
And the Englishman smashed 95.
Vince, what about that hitting?
His second 90-plus scorching of Perth these finals helped the Sixers reach 6 for 188. His screamer in the covers.
Oh, brilliant! James Vince!
Removed Mitch Marsh and any chance for the Scorchers. The men in magenta are already plotting a three-peat. Philippi left for New Zealand today.
Fingers crossed there might be an opportunity for me.
But after idle months in the test bubble, Henriquez and Sean Abbott miss out again due to the aborted South Africa tour.
There are a lot of other people, and I don't mean just cricketers, but that are, that have had some other things and opportunities taken away from them.
Beth Mooney ended a 7-year Healy-Perry Lanning hold on the Belinda Clark Award. Steve Smith was surprised by his third Allan Border medal and criticism of coach Justin Langer.
You want to be improving all the time as a coach or as a player. So, of course, there's things you can always get better at.
Matt Carmichael, 7 News.
Overseas in Australia are watching the India-England series closely with a spot in the Test Championship Final Open. Joe Root made 218 in England's 578. Jofra Archer removed Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill before lunch on day 3.
And Jimmy Anderson doesn't drop many.
Virat Kohli has just fallen to off-spinner Dom Bess for 11. Mohammad Siraj and Kuldeep Yadav aren't playing, but their physical clash sure raised some eyebrows. World number 1 Ash Barty has a lovely trophy of a wombat to add to her growing collection after taking out the Australian Open lead-up event at Melbourne Park. The world number 1 defeated dual Grand Slam champion Gavinye Muguruza in straight sets in the final, 7-6, 6-4.
I've done the preparation, I've eaten my Brussels sprouts, I've done all the right things to kind of get myself in a position now that I can go out there and try and perform at the best level that I can.
Barty is the favourite to win the Australian Open women's singles. Josh Papali is bemused by all the claims being made about him before his boxing debut. The NRL's best prop confesses being behind in fitness after a number of sparring partners chickened out of training sessions. And Papali denies losing 10 kilos or that he's confident of knocking out former NRL prop Ben Hannon in Townsville on Friday night.
There's been speculation of me losing a lot of weight, but yeah, still the same weight as last year, as the year before and the year before that.
Paul Momorowski's played for the Roosters, Tigers and Storm in 3 NRL seasons. Now he is a Panther, allowing young gun Dane Laurie's early move to West Tigers. Well, it took 2 goals right out of the top draw from the Wanderers to deny Macarthur FC their first win at Campbelltown Stadium. The first came from stand-in captain Graham Dorrans.
He can chip the keeper. Federici is backpedaling. What a goal from Graham Dorrans!
Then, with the Bulls up 2-1, a freakish scorpion kick assist from Keanu Bacchus found Simon Cox at the back post. The 2-2 draw leaves the Wanderers 4th in the A-League, 3 points behind leaders Brisbane, Macarthur a 5th. Matty Ryan's Arsenal debut got off to a miserable start. The Socceroos keeper conceded a goal after 74 seconds thanks to a deflection. Unlucky, he responded with a string of quality saves, but the Gunners lost 1-0 to Aston Villa.
Still hasn't quite sunk in that it's my childhood club I grew up supporting that I just played for. I wanted the perfect start with the result, 3 points to go with it, but wasn't meant to be.
Manchester United missed a chance to rejoin Man City at the top of the Premier League. Everton scored in stoppage time to earn a 3-3 draw. Casper Ware powered the Kings to their best win of the NBL season so far in Adelaide last night. Ware led all scorers with 27 points in the 94-75 victory over the 36ers. Fellow import Jarrell Martin had 23.
Spin move, shot clock winding down. Got some class. Has he got some class? Jarrell Martin.
Brian Goorjian's Hawks suffered their first loss of the season this afternoon, beat 98-82 by South East Melbourne. Well, the Phoenix Open may be remembered as the tournament where former world #1 Jordan Spieth regained his mojo.
Look at Jordan Spieth go. That is a gimme.
Is this 2016, 17? What is this?
Winless in more than 1,300 days, the triple major champion stormed into a tie for the lead in the 3rd round. Spieth fired a 10-under-61 at TPC Scottsdale, where the COVID rules are taken very, very seriously. Danielle Scott hadn't competed in aerial skiing since the 2018 Pyeongchang Olympics and had an ACL injury. No problem for the Aussie favourite from Manly. Scott returned with World Cup gold in Deer Valley, Utah this morning.
I'm beside myself. This is crazy. It's been, a long time since competing, and I love this sport, and this is probably the best welcome back ever.
The dual Olympian joins a number of Aussies flying towards next year's Beijing Winter Games. And as we saw earlier, we are counting down to arguably the biggest day on the global sporting calendar. Super Bowl favourites Kansas City, led by star quarterback Patrick Mahomes, touched down in Tampa Bay to a police escort. They'll chase a 2nd straight title against Tom Brady's Buccaneers tomorrow.
Yes, sir! Back-to-back champions, baby! Back-to-back champions on y'all!
Brady is gunning for his 7th championship. Tampa Bay have the advantage of being the first team ever to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. They may be underdogs, but you'd never write off Tom Brady, would you? That would be unbelievable, 7.
Wouldn't write him off, but I reckon Kansas will go back-to-back.
I think you could have a point, and by the way, congratulations to the Sixers once more.
Great win. Thanks, Mel.
Thanks.
A fertility clinic has become the first in the country to add yoga as part of its treatment. Studies reveal the practice can significantly increase success rates for women trying to fall pregnant through IVF.
Mother of 1, Kim Stolke, has been desperately trying to have a 2nd child for 13 years.
With IVF comes a lot of injections, a lot of hormones, a lot of uncertainty, and in my case, a lot of heartache.
The 38-year-old started her IVF journey with #1 fertility in September. She's now joining other aspiring mums, hoping fertility yoga can help.
Essentially, yoga is a whole body medicine, and so we're working by reducing stress, supporting our endocrine system, our lymphatic system, our cardiovascular, and through breath work as well.
The East Melbourne Clinic is the first across the nation to offer classes on site.
I honestly think it's going to be the next big thing.
A lot of my patients are so stressed and anxious that I do think it interferes with their chances of conception.
As well as the physical and mental benefits of the yoga itself, it also gives women on similar fertility journeys the chance to connect.
It's so nice that we can actually have this offered to us where we can come in, take that hour, not think about anything, but be with like-minded women that actually they understand.
Sarah Jones, 7 News.
Now Angie's back with the forecast. Ange, the working week is looking good.
Mark, overall a run of quite settled days in store for Sydney. Coming up, I'll have your comprehensive 7-day forecast.
They say mini golf can do anything, but can it create love? Of course it can.
There's electricity in the air.
Oh, they're trading power from all over the valley. If she doesn't find love, she's going to find a spark.
Our 8 single golfers will turn heads and fall head over heels. But will they choose love over the plaid jacket?
Holy moly!
Next up on 7.
Perfect Italiano is perfect for that. Perfect Italiano is perfect for that. And Perfect Italiano is perfect for that, and that. Not so good for that. But for a delicious meal every time, Perfect Italiano is perfect for that.
Your insurance policy is monstrous.
You know, if you had Budget Direct car insurance, you'd get a hire car while yours gets repaired. And you could save hundreds.
Not at fault. Get a hire car while yours gets repaired. Just give us the other driver's details. Budget Direct. Insurance solved.
Got the fishing rod.
Oh, good one.
Sometimes plans change. With the Optus Flex plan, you can scale your data up and down from your My Optus app. It starts with yes.
Well done.
Oh my gosh! Let me go! Let me go! Let me sail, let the Orinoco flow. Let me reach, let me beach on the shores of Tripoli. Da, da, ooh, da, da.
With all the comfort and technology in the new Santa Fe, it's peace at last.
Today marks 10 years since our once united nation was divided by the Great State War. An increasing number...
I love the smell of lamb in the morning.
We did it! The United States of Australia.
Nah, it's just Australia.
When it comes to being green, we do our best. Nobody's 100% perfect, but at least your power can be 100% carbon neutral. Join PowerShop, Australia's first certified carbon neutral energy retailer.
I don't know. Chicken again?
I want something quick and easy. Salmon.
Give chicken the night off. Serve up some Huon salmon.
Stubborn wrinkles that just won't go away? Introducing new Pro-X by Olay. Clinically tested to target stubborn wrinkles from day one. Trusted by over 1,000 dermatologists, exclusively in Priceline.
Tonight, top stories. 3 straight weeks in the COVID clear as details of a vaccine certificate open up the potential for travel. A toddler has been reunited with his family after a chilling abduction in the middle of the night. The federal government is pushing for the release of Australian Sean Turnell detained in Myanmar's military coup. And Sydney's top water wasters will be paid a visit soon with a crackdown to save every drop. Now, here's Angie with Sydney's weather.
Thanks very much, Mark. Well, today was fine and pretty warm across most of New South Wales, with the exception of the northeast corner where we are still seeing light to moderate falls. In the CBD, we reached a top of 28.8 degrees just after 2 p.m. The overnight low was 19.4, which is spot on average for this time of year. This is how the day unfolded across the metro region. 29 degrees was the top on the beach at Manly. Only a touch warmer in our west today. 30 at Richmond, 31 for Penrith, and no sign of rain rain since 9 a.m. From the satellite, you'll see the dominant feature is southerly winds here pushing all the way up the coast, so slightly cooler under that regime tonight. Tomorrow, those same winds will push onshore, fueling a few showers. Those falls are going to be limited to the state's east, though, and we are not expecting heavy falls at all within that band. To the capitals for tomorrow, Brisbane, showers clearing, a top of 30 degrees. It'll be a partly cloudy day ahead for Canberra. Overcast for Melbourne. Hobart may see an afternoon shower, top of 20 degrees. Fine and warm for Adelaide, 27, and Perth is expecting a few showers with winds starting to ease. Statewide, there are those showers on the east coast stretching from Coolangatta right down to Wollongong. Elsewhere remains fine. We're looking at fairly moderate temperatures tomorrow, tops of 29 degrees forecast for Dubbo, Parkes and Griffith. After lovely blue skies today, it will be overcast tomorrow around Sydney's suburbs as well. Under those clouds, we're looking at a cooler day as well. 21 degrees forecast for us at Bondi, 23 for Hornsby, 26 is about the warmest it will get across the region. Camden, Campbelltown and Penrith all heading for that mark. Nice day in the mountains, 20 degrees. On the coast, southerly winds tomorrow, gusting at around 15 to 20 knots, all on a 2-metre swell. Again, those winds will be strongest on the south coast, so warnings are in place for Batemans and Eden Waters. Other spots expecting moderate conditions. In the city, 19 degrees tonight, top of 25, so a little bit cooler than what we saw today, and those grey skies may produce a very light shower. To the week ahead, more sunny breaks from Tuesday. That will when things will change quite significantly, and that sticks with us right throughout the working week. Friday's the warmest, 30 in our city, 34 in our west. Just some light showers redeveloping over the weekend, but all in all looking pretty good, Mark.
Looking very nice indeed. Angie, thank you. That is 7 News for this Sunday. We'll have updates for you throughout the evening. I'm Mark Ferguson from all the team. I hope you have a great night.